What's going on, guys, and welcome to this brand new series here on the channel called That's My Collection. That's right, in this series we will take a look at people's collections from all over the world, from the unique, the rare, and the most unusual. In this first episode we will check out William. Well, they actually call him Lucky. He collects Mr. Rogers collectibles, which is very interesting. So Lucky, take it away.
Hey guys, name's William. They call me Lucky. But a lot of collectors, including myself, we collect all kinds of things. It could be anything from Hot Wheels cars to you name it, Transformers, TMNT. We still understand it. You can appreciate when somebody finds something they've been looking for quite a while, or snagged a really good deal, or whatever the case may be. And I collect Mr. Rogers.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine?
I've got a little bit of everything. I kind of cover it all. I was always a fan, ever since I was a little kid. But I never knew that any of these items existed until the last few years. He was not a fan of any kind of advertising, so if you didn't just run across it, you'd never know. And I'm not even sure what stores or anything that they were sold in. But I've been doing this since about 2017 roughly. Twitch, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, done a marathon at the time. I think it was an anniversary, 50th anniversary or something. And they played every episode from start to finish, continuous without stopping. And it took almost a full month to get it all done. But I got kind of curious and started messing around, eBays and whatnot, like a lot of us do, and found a couple of the puppets, King and Queen. And they were really cheap, which, come to find out, most things are not cheap by any stretch. But I picked both of those up for a really good deal, and one thing led to another, and I've had a lot of friends, online and YouTube subscribers and whatnot that have sent me things, different puppets, 3D printed me some trolleys and other things, and that's what I'm going to jump into next, is actually showing you guys what I've put together, and we'll see what, how it goes, and hopefully y'all like it. My YouTube channel is Lucky43113, and I'm going to show you what I got. Okay, I wanted to now show you some close-ups of some of the items that I have in the collection, and I'll explain briefly what some of them are. The King and the Queen there, as you can see, those are the first two that I had originally picked up. Wasn't even sure what all was out there at that point. So I got both of those originally, and then I just worked my way through the rest of the collection with Daniel Tiger, Henrietta, and back there in the back, kind of buried. It's hard to keep everything organized as well as I'd like it, but that's a Lady Elaine. Packaging is a little rough, but still sealed, and these particular puppets all date about 1988. That's the copyright date on all of them. Then I've got a first day issue letter from the United States Post Office stamp, and moving on down, of course, just a modern sign. I don't collect a whole lot of the modern stuff. I like the more vintage, but every once in a while you run across something that's kind of neat. Got another first day issue. See if I can zoom in on that. And then these are the trolleys. The little one here. And then I've got a matching one up at the top there, as you can see. Those were the first two that I received. They were 3D printed by a friend of mine. Then I've got a ceramic one, which is a bank from a theme park, actually, there in Pennsylvania, where the show was produced. And a 3D printed trolley with some, I won't want to say rare, but uncommon and can be pricey figurines there. That one's just a Paw Patrol. I just threw him in there just for fun. But you got X the Owl and Henrietta, and then King Friday and Queen Sarah there. Mr. Rogers got to be honorary captain of the Penguins hockey team there in Pennsylvania. Now moving on down, We've got Henrietta, a couple different versions, still from the 80s. Now the taller ones there, which you got Lady Elaine, King Friday, those were both from 1977. They're the oldest pieces in the collection. We've got a couple more X the Owls, and a nice little group of Daniel Tigers. Now up at the top here, we've got a record album, which I have several of, different ones. And one of my rarer items is here. That is a sealed playset from 1986. Still got a price tag on the back. I did wrap it myself in the saran wrap just to keep it clean. I do have an item that I am quite proud of, and I have the only one that exists. And I'll put some actual close-up photos of this when I here at the end of the video, but because they're kind of high up on a shelf. But they never produced the desktop models that he'd used on the show, but I always liked those. So I spent roughly 300 hours in CAD software, and I designed and 3D printed my own. I have the castle, you have the museum go around, the Eiffel Tower, Grand Paris, the factory, the tree, Daniel's clock, and the platypus mound. In 2022, I wanted to see if I could get in touch with David Newell, who played Mr. McFeely. I had never written anybody for autographs or knew how that worked, so I wasn't real sure. So I looked it up and found that several people had actually written David Newell and got a response. He doesn't do a ton of online, so I didn't really know how to send it that way. So I just sent him the photos as well as a letter that I had typed. So he wrote me back about a 5-page letter, well, that he had typed. The 2 photographs that you see there, which are both personalized and autographed, as well as a DVD, which I'm still debating on opening or not. He didn't sign that, but I don't know if I want to open it or just buy another copy. You know, it'd be really hard to top this. And far as anybody knows, I may have the only one in existence, but we haven't been able to confirm that. That's a book that he read, and it's signed on the inside. And I will put a picture of this one at the end so you can see the signatures. I framed them just to protect them. I don't want to zoom in too close, but that is the original auction receipt from where these items came from in the mid-90s when he donated them to the Red Cross in his hometown. There is a t-shirt that also was donated. And the crown jewel is an actual script. These were his personal items. It is fully signed on the inside. And they said that they don't know if any exist. The archives has never even seen one, even though they knew about this one. There's been a few from different cast members that have showed up over the years, but nothing his personal.
Lucky, what is your favorite piece in your collection?
Now, I know most people, when they have a collection of things, a lot of times it's, you know, their favorite piece might be their most valuable or the most rare, what have you. But in my case, it's a little bit different. My favorite items out of the collection, I picked 2 because they go hand in hand, is King Friday, the 13th, and Queen Sarah. And the reason those 2 are my favorite, they're not the most rare, not the most valuable or anything, but they were the first 2 pieces I picked up. And I got them for a really good deal, even though I didn't know that at the time. But if I had not picked up these 2 pieces like I did, or found the deal that I had found, then I would have never accumulated the rest of the collection. So this is where it all started, right here. I didn't even know the things existed at the time. I just was watching the marathon, like I'd mentioned before, on Twitch, and happened to just look on eBay just for, you know, something to do. And that's how both of them were acquired, in one lot, one group. And typically, you know, I've seen these since go in the $100 range a piece, and these I picked up for $25 for the pair. King Friday was a little bit dirty, had some marker on him, but I realized, you know, as long as it's not a painted area and just the flesh color, Mr. Clean Magic Eraser took care of that. So those are the favorite items of my collection because, like I said, without them, the collection would have never started to begin with. And another thing I want to add is the Holy Grail item. In 1977, I believe, there was a playset put out in a catalog anyway, promotional catalog for that year. I believe it was 77. It'll say for sure on the image. But it had the tree, the museum go around, the castle, a set of the little figurine puppets, which I showed earlier that are in the trolley. King and Queen, X the Owl, Henrietta, and Prince Tuesday, which I do not have the Prince. But only at least one of these is known, as far as I'm aware. A toy hunter off of TV had made a post on Twitter back in 2013 when he was asked, about the rarity, and he said he had only seen one in 15 years, and as far as I know, none have been seen since. But it was a really nice play set. Had the royal airplane and things, and it was all made to fit into its own carry case. But I don't think the item was ever actually mass marketed. Like I said, the figurines have came up a couple times here and there, so I'm assuming that those were sold separately, I would think. Or they could have been produced, as prototypes and just kind of got out on their own. But I don't think the neighborhood itself was ever put out. I've never seen any pieces of it or anything other than just the images online from the catalog, as well as on Google. You can look up the patents and see how it was, drawn up and everything. But that would be my Holy Grail item, and it's also the Holy Grail of every Mr. Rogers collector that's out there. But that's all of the collection. I hope everybody enjoyed it. If you got any questions, feel free to ask, and I can go into more detail, or, if need be, I can even make video on separate items, individual things up close on my own YouTube channel, which will be linked down below. I want to thank again Narc for giving me the opportunity to be the first one of this series, and hopefully everybody else will chime in, with what they collect. I always enjoy seeing other people's items as well. So again, I appreciate it, and thanks.
Guys, that will do it for episode 1. If you are interested in showing off your collection, if you got something that's a little odd that you would like to share with the world, contact me, notanotherretrochannel@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. And if you're local, let us know here in the DFW area. We could come over and film it. You never know. Guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.